The Siren. Men get tired of the responsibilities they have to deal with, so much work and things to take care of. The Siren understands the man's dreams and his desires and brings them to reality. She's a dream come true, as she offers a total release from the limitations of his life. She takes the man to a world where he doesn't have to worry about anything, a world of pleasure. The Spectacular Siren. One night, while in a meeting, the Roman Emperor Julius Caesar received a gift from the Greeks. It was a rolled-up carpet, and when it was unrolled, Cleopatra was revealed. She had been hiding inside, and she was half naked. She looked like the goddess Venus emerging from the waves. Everyone in the room was impressed. Cleopatra was in the prime of life. She had a delightful voice which could not fail to cast a spell over all who heard it. Caesar fell in love instantly. As the Roman emperor, Caesar had countless women at his feet trying to distract him from politics and warfare, but he always grew bored of them and went back to the things he was truly passionate about. Cleopatra was the exception. She told him how together they could revive the glory of Alexander the Great and rule the world like gods. Another time, she entertained him by dressing up as the goddess Isis. She kept him hooked precisely because she knew how to entertain him. At the same time, it was constant war between them. Whenever Caesar began taking her for granted, Cleopatra would turn cold, making him chase after her. Cleopatra seduced him so effectively that he let her distract him from his work in Rome. The city was in chaos, but Caesar wasn't worried. He was spending his time in Egypt with Cleopatra. Caesar was murdered in 44 BC, but his successor, Mark Antony, was another victim for Cleopatra. Contrary to popular belief, Cleopatra wasn't particularly good-looking. Beauty is overrated. It bores after some time. What made Cleopatra a successful seductress was her ability to constantly transform herself. She would change her makeup and her outfits daily, and she always looked larger than life, like some goddess. Her voice was intoxicating. She would always speak so sweetly. She was unattainable. When men thought she was finally theirs, she turned cold and angry. Everything was on her terms. What truly keeps men hooked is adventure, and Cleopatra provided this service. Distractions were endless, and no man could ever see her true nature. The Sex Siren. Marilyn Monroe was an orphan child who one day had to borrow a sweater from her friend. It was a couple of sizes small for her, so it was a little tight. She was only 13, but the sweater revealed she was quite developed for her age. Boys started to notice her a lot more. She finally discovered a way to get attention. She began to smile more, dress differently, and wear makeup. Obviously, this excited them even more. She was just learning. As she grew up, she kept a touch of innocence. It seemed that all she wanted was to be loved, just like a little girl longing to be protected. Through trial and error, Marilyn Monroe began to study seduction. She wanted to know what attracted men. She began to lower her voice, and this indeed attracted more men. She would spend hours putting on makeup to heighten her image. Even the way she walked was calculated. A sex siren signals that she lives for pleasure and is always available. What differentiates her from a slut are her touches of innocence and vulnerability. The mix is very attractive to men. It offers them the opportunity to feel like a protector, a white knight that is there to protect her from danger. To be a sex siren, a woman must have the air of an innocent schoolgirl. A part of her seems to scream sex, while the other is naive. It's as if she wasn't able to understand the effect she has on men. Women with a lot of sexual energy are rare, which is why men unconsciously gravitate around them. Cleopatra was a one-woman show that brought with her so much drama. Marilyn Monroe seemed as innocent and vulnerable as a little girl. Like both women, stand out from the rest, and once you're noticed, make men pursue you. Remember that a high sexual presence makes you desirable, but make sure you don't resemble some whore or the man will lose interest. Hint at something dangerous. Danger is a highly seductive quality. Keep men at a distance to inspire respect. They won't get to see your flaws and weaker qualities. Create fear by suddenly changing moods, keeping the man off balance, or occasionally intimidating him with capricious behavior. Have a memorable physical quality. This may be a particular scent or some seductive way to wear makeup. You could also wear flashy clothes. These attract men because they have no significance. In brief, If you are to play the siren, master as many of these as possible. The voice. The siren must have an insinuating voice that hints at the erotic. Her voice is calm and unhurried. Body and adornment. Everything must astonish the public, but it shouldn't be obvious that you're aiming for attention. Wear clothes that reveal a part of your body that will stir the man's imagination. It should hint at something sexual, but again, don't exaggerate this, suggest it. Movement and demeanor. A siren is never in a hurry. She always moves in a calm manner. Her movement excites men because it's innocent, but a little sexual at the same time. I hope you learned something. If you did, please leave a like and subscribe for more.